back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship. It is the annual Battle for the Paddle, Anoka at Champlin Park, and a very rare Thursday afternoon tilt at 1 o'clock. Steve Thompson, Joe Ruland, our great QCTV crew, and the Tornadoes, tough year this year. Champlin Park with a win today would finish a regular year at 500, Joe.
They would, and everyone's looking to get things started the right way, including Champlin Park, as today they're going to sit their starting quarterback due to injury.
We'll come back with more in a moment here on QCTV. Moments away, the battle for the paddle. Anoka at Champlin Park. Tornadoes coming in 1-6, and Champlin Park 3-4. Anoka won the paddle a year ago at Goodrich, and here we are on a Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and there it is. That surprise for the winner today, Joe.
That's one fine-looking paddle. In fact, yeah, you mentioned this is the 30th year, 31st year today, counting today's game. And Champlin Park has a 19-10 edge in terms of winning that paddle. And they want to get that back today. And also, they're going to have to try to do it today without their starting quarterback. In fact, he'll be out just for tonight. They want to get him ready for this postseason. So stepping up will be Drew Kaluza, who has one pass, one completion, one touchdown on the year.
Yeah, and Champlin Park, balanced attack, throwing and running. A little bit more of a running team when you look at the numbers, but the Anoka Tornadoes, they throw it around. There's no doubt about it. Peyton Padani, not afraid to throw the football. Head coach Bo Osrick for Anoka, they're in white. Champlin Park head coach Nick Keenan, they're in their home blue, and we're just about ready to go. Great day for football. I don't think I've ever done a high school football on a Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Well, I know
Very
it caught me by
unusual.
surprise. If Taylor hadn't reached out to tell me, I was all set for the night game. I love the afternoon game. It invigorates you.
All right, kickoff for Anoka, taken at the 18-yard line. They go laterally, and they get absolutely nowhere on that play. Ethan Masman tried to get around the edge, couldn't, loses yardage. Tornadoes start 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. We are underway. Final game of the regular season. 6A playoffs begin a week from Friday all over the state.
Look at the offensive set. You got Chapman as a left tackle. Left guard is Olson. Logan Burns, followed by right guard Mason Brent, Max Knutson, and also Troy Borchers. Meanwhile, you got Carson Ben, then Eli Balson. He's going to cross over 1,000. He's going to amass that number today, 1,000 receiving yards. Ibikwe, followed by, you see the quarterback and the running backs as well. That's Massman and Padedny.
And that quarterback is Peyton Padani, and he fires it out there, and it's caught by Effie Abekwe, and Abekwe gains about 5. It'll be his second down, and Anoka hurried up. Padani again. They'll hand it off to the running back, and that is that running back, Ethan Maz, but nothing to it. It'll set up third down. Good job by that Rebels D.
You do. You get a look at this set as it's no huddle once again. They're coming up ready to rock it, and you can tell right now is Eli Paulson, the top receiver for Anoka, 978 yards this season and 8 touchdowns. So yeah, I'd be looking for him here on 3rd and long if you're Anoka.
There it is. Padani drops back, fires it out. It's caught and dropped into the hands of the intended receiver over there for the Anoka receiver. It looked like Carson Ban had his hands on it. Now it's 4th down for the Tornadoes on their opening drive from the 21-yard line. We're a minute in, and the head coach, Bo Osrick, brings in that punting unit, and the Tornadoes are going to kick it away. Cham Kwame is the punter, and he'll drop back inside his own 10 near the 5-yard line. And Champlin Park has 2 receivers back deep, including Emmett Tutt among those returners. Giovanni Fon. Also, Fon's going to fair catch, bobble it, and pounce on it back at the 38-yard line. Well, he almost gave it back to the Tornadoes, but he's able to cover up, and now the Rebels will start 1st and 10.
And there's no wind, at least for right now, here at Champlin Park Field. But you're seeing there with the Anoka Gunners kind of seeing him and you're looking him right in the eyes. He's getting ready to receive that opening punt. Always a few more jitters. Those first couple of possessions. Here you get a look at the offensive set by Nick Keenan. You've got Ellingson followed by Kramer. A good-sized offensive line at center. Benjamin Nelson. Ishag, meanwhile, Rashad at right guard. Magnus right at right tackle. You got Bremer, who's a do everything, and here's a run right out of the gate.
Big gainer. Tootie could go all the way, and he does. Opening handoff from scrimmage. No flags. Rebels go 62 yards. Touchdown.
Took it to the house. Almost untouched. What an explosive first play. You know, they had that kind of marked up as a go-to play all week. And we'll look at that execution. He did not get touched.
62 yards. First play from scrimmage. They'll line up for the extra point.
Boy, they want that paddle back.
That spot kick is good. So a low-line drive makes it through. And just like that, the Rebels, that took 13 seconds. One play, 62 yards. The touchdown run by Richelieu Tootie, the 170-pound senior, takes it to the house. And on the year for Tootie this year, had a couple of touchdowns on the ground. So make that number 3 on the year for him.
Yeah, he had 396 in terms of yards rushing coming into this game, and he'll surpass that and get beyond 450. So we were just getting ready to talk about Kaluza taking his first snap. It would actually be his, he's had a couple more, but only thrown the one pass. But forget about that. That takes a lot of pressure off Kaluza. And that running game has just been hitting on cylinders. It's a team that they're averaging 163 yards a game and 11 touchdowns. Have the 3 and 4 Rebels, and they set the tempo right there.
Kicking off, Jackson Miles for the Rebel, teed up, middle of the field, 40-yard line. It's in the air, a line drive, and it's going to go through the hands of the return man, Elijah Paulson, for the Tornadoes, and into the end zone for a touchback. And Anoka will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, down 7-0. But how about that? Tootie, 62 yards, Rebels on the board.
And now they've got to get themselves set against a defense that's pretty scrappy for Champlin Park. They've come up with 12 sacks, tackles for losses as well. That's at 57. Meanwhile, for Anoka, they're going to try to get some mismatches out there on the pass. Quick look is Tyler Hansen at defensive end. Nelson then at defensive tackle. Right tackle followed by Brugers at defensive end. Linebackers Ben Bramer. He is all over the place. Heinen as a middle linebacker. Mohammed then left backer. And then you got Swanson. Now I can slow down. Brady Skonstein at a safety spot back there, and you've got a pretty strong cornerback crew.
Number 68 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You got Logan Ottinger. He's got 3 picks on the season. Also back there along with him is Harrison Dwinell. And obviously at a cornerbacks, Emmett Tutt and also Tony.
Here we go, a 5-yard penalty, false start. First down and 15, Tornadoes at their own 15-yard line. Peyton Badani is the quarterback. Ethan Masman is the running back, and he'll flare out. And the quarterback, Padani, keeps it on the ground, gains about 9 or maybe 6 yards, 4 yards, back to the 19-yard line. He got tripped up. He took that snap and called his own number, and it's going to set up second down and 12. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play, actually, to the 18-yard line.
Anoka continues to go with that spread. The run has been effective, but definitely dominant this year has been their pass game, averaging 255 yards a game.
Padani rolls out, throws it downfield. The intended receiver out there, Eli Paulson, incomplete. Third down and long. Eli Paulson's put up some great numbers this year. 79 catches, 978 yards, 8 touchdowns this year. By far and away the leading receiver in the favorite target of Peyton Padani, who on the year has thrown for 1,206 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 8 picks. But they're in a bad spot, third down and long.
They are. If it was at a night game, they'd say you're in the shadows of the goalpost. But right now they've got a tough 3rd and 12.
Padani takes the snap, now rolls out to the left, throws it out. It is caught. It is caught by Paulson for a first down out at the 36-yard line. And you can see why Paulson is so dangerous. He found a spot, and the quarterback, Padani, found him.
Yeah, I was surprised. You wouldn't see him being doubled, but you did see a couple of Rebel players trailing, but it's coming back. We got a holding call.
A lot of laundry on the field, and that hold's going to bring it all the way back and put Anoka in third down and very long
Holding
inside their
on the
own
offense,
10.
number 50. Got the distance from the goal from the spot of the foul. Repeat third down.
Max Knudsen on the hold, takes it back just outside the 5-yard line. So that is a tough penalty on the Tornadoes. So they go 3 and out, and then they give up a 62-yard touchdown run. And now they're in a spot where they may go 3 and out again here against his Rebels defense. Clouds have thickened up a little bit, but Annie in the end zone under pressure, gets hit. That could be a safety. We'll see if he got it away. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, but there was no one near. That should almost be intentional grounding.
That's got to be
on
a safety.
Podani. They're going to talk it over.
I don't think there's a doubt that that's a safety.
Yeah, it is intentional grounding. There comes the flag. And it is a loss of down, so the Rebels are going to take it and pin it back.
Number 3 on the offense. Penalty occurred in the end zone. The result of the play is
yeah, there you go.
See?
Intentional grounding in the end zone, 2 points. Rebels lead at 9-0.
Just listen to me, Steve. We're going places, man. Bam. It is. It's an early defensive push. I'm telling you, the Rebels here in that defensive line, so tough. They create turnovers, create safeties, and those tackles for loss. They already had 3 today. They're at 60 for the season, 12 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, 10 interceptions. So they have quite the repertoire of success on defense. And they've just been able to display it early here in this first quarter.
Yeah, and it didn't come right away, and the intentional grounding was pretty obvious there. They did rule it an incomplete pass, and it was, but then they huddle up, rule the intentional grounding in the end zone. That is 2 for the Rebels, and now a free kick for Anoka, and Champlin Park's going to get it right back. They're up 9-0. They've run 1 play from scrimmage so far, and there's 9:47 to go here in quarter number 1. Once again, clouds have thickened up. As Joe mentioned, hardly any wind. Just a great day for a football game. But I still can't get over the final game of the football season for these teams, the regular season anyway, is on a Thursday at 1 o'clock.
I like it. I actually like it. But keep in mind, Anoka coming into this 1-6, one of their key components, being outscored this season. 158 to 203. And here's a need to know by Joe. When you're chasing, it's so much more difficult to sustain that energy. And in that first quarter, Anoka has been outscored 35 to 12 this season.
Here's Tutt from the 20, right up the middle of the field on the free kick. And he'll get it to midfield on that free kick return, and the Rebels will start with outstanding field position, up 9-0 with 9:39 to go in quarter number 1.
Right at midfield for their second possession and their second snap, and Tutt did a good job. There was a good job of blocking, but he just kept those legs moving and protecting that ball. So let's get a look at Kaluza, who's taking the snaps this afternoon for the Rebels. This is the second snap of the game.
Kaluza is going to hand it off. And there's room. Tootie again on his feet. And then he's brought down after a big gainer at the 32-yard line. Gain is 17 or 18 on the play, and he almost took that all the way to the house.
I'm guessing Coach Nick Keenan said, guys, he went 60-some yards, didn't get touched. Let's go back, try it again, and see if they've adjusted it. And picks up a healthy gain. He's going to have over 100 yards here in this first quarter.
Gain of 18 there. They're going to try Tootie again. Left edge, still on his feet, breaking tackles inside the 20. Down to the 18-yard line, another gain. Another terrific run. We'll call it 14 on the play. So he has runs in this game so far. 62 for a touchdown, 18, and now 16.
That's 96 yards. You're checking my math. He's checking my math. It's 96 yards. Right there.
Good stuff. Up the gut to the 15-yard line. Not much doing there. Maybe a few for the Rebels as the Tornadoes defense makes a stop, but the Rebels running it right at him.
And you know, the interesting part is that Arthur Russell led the squad for Champlin Park in rushing this year. 560 yards, 4 touchdowns, averaging almost 93 yards a game. And they started the game off with Tootie, who's right now at 96 yards.
Novak split way out to the right. They're going to hand it off again. And getting a block around the corner, down the sideline, shoved out near the goal line, is that Rebels running back.
Ogunlana picks up.
Yeah, Ogunlana.
Right down the line, and they, you know, hey, they want to make sure everyone's healthy for their state tournament run, because they're in the 6A and they got to have everyone healthy, hence the reason they're sitting Tilke.
Gain of 13, sneak up the middle, and I think we have a touchdown for the quarterback, Kaluza. And we do, and the Rebels dominating early, 7:48 remaining in the first, and the Rebels are up 15-0.
And you know what? No penalty flags either. They've been executing proficiently in their first couple of drives and set up with some great help by the defense, but Kaluza gets his first running touchdown of the season, and the Rebels, as you mentioned, Steve, have pounced out to a 15-0 lead.
Yeah, they, once again, Arthur Russell listed as the starting running back, hasn't had a carry in this football game, and now they're going to line up with the senior Kaluza at quarterback, couple running backs behind him. And he's going to roll out. Kaluza's going to walk into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And the Rebels are in command, up 17-0 with 7:48 remaining in the first quarter.
Look at this protection. It's sealed off like a wall, and he just carries it in at his leisure for the 2-point conversion. 17-0 here for the Rebels, and Anoka's got to find a way to get back in it, as we talked earlier on a need to know. They have been outscored in this first quarter by a margin of 35-12, and that takes so much energy out of you when you're chasing and you're having to make adjustments out of the gate. Let's see what they can do. A throwing team, so they can put up points, and it's in a hurry if need be. Let's see what they have going here. Champlin Park, let's see what they do defensively, maybe adjust for some of the runs, but so far they'll stay intact.
And to kick it off here is going to be Miles. 2 players back deep. Miles high end over end to the far side. And here comes the Tornadoes. Masman is going to get it over the 20, close to the 25-yard line, and that's where Anoka will start. Once again, 3 and out on their opening drive. Then they give up a safety on their second drive. And now Anoka, they got to get a little momentum and pick up some first downs and give their D a bit of a break here, Joe.
Yeah, and it's not their running game that's struggling that much this season. They have, the running back there in Massman, who has almost 400 yards and 102 carries. But maybe they try just a quick screen out wide or a tunnel screen, something that can be an easy completion.
And here's Padani. He's going to sling it out. It's caught, short gain. And finally driven out of bounds over there is Eli Paulson, and favorite target. And what's so impressive about Paulson is not only the catch, but the yards after catch. And what he was able to do there is setting up 2nd down and 3.
Absolutely, and they did just that. A nice, easy toss, get that completion, and just get a cadence going offensively for this game.
Paulson goes from left to right. Now they have 2 wide receivers on either side. And the running back is Masman. Padani drops back. He's going to lob it out. And it's caught over midfield. Just going up for it and hauling it in was Trey Borchers. The Rebels defender fell down for a moment. That allowed Borchers to pick up the big gainer.
That was, go ahead. I'm sorry, Steve. But Harrison Dwinell, he had that read for a pick, but he lost his footing just as he was getting ready to go up for it. And good focus to get the completion.
31-yard gain. There's a short throw over the middle, and that is caught. That is caught there by Carson Ban. Call it about 4 yards there. 2nd down and 6 as the Tornadoes go hurry up with the ball at the 34-yard line. They're going to hand it off. Masman up the middle and runs into a brick wall and is driven back. Good defensive play there by the Champlin Park Rebels. Matthew Heinen part of that tackle, and now it's going to set up 3rd down from the 32-yard line.
Yeah, well, we've heard from a couple of the wideouts, Paulson, Band. We haven't heard from Ibikwe yet.
Throw out to the right. It is caught and then ultimately dropped by Borchers, setting up 4th down. Good coverage there by the Rebels defensively. That D-back Brady Schornstein was all over the coverage there.
Did a good job of stripping it just upon that contact. He wasn't able to kind of get coverage or protection after he did receive the ball. Great play defensively for the Rebels.
Ball at the 32. They need the 28. 4th down and try for Anoka. They're in Rebel territory for the first time today. Down 17-0. Padani rolling right. Looks on the run. Jump ball. Somehow hauling it in at the 21-yard line is the terrific Elijah Paulson. What a great grab by Eli there, and a 1st down for Anoka. He just went up in a crowd and took it away from everybody.
Did. Good focus. There were a lot of hands. He threaded the needle, did the quarterback on that one, and a 1st down.
And we got flags here.
Good ball, legal snap on the offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Another penalty on the Anoka Tornadoes. They've had 3 today, including that intentional grounding that led to a safety. Now they're out at the 25-yard line, 1st down and 15.
So you hear it all the time, you got to stay ahead of the chains and not have these penalties. It does kind of take the mojo away. Let's see how Anoka can react here on the 25-yard line.
Everybody looks over for a play, and the Tornadoes are ready to go. Padani low snap through his legs, pounces on it, back out near the 39-yard line. So another mistake by Anoka sets them up on 2nd down and a long way to go. They need to get it all the way to near the 10-yard line. They're out at the 38.
Well, you've got a center who's a very good center, but you've got some pressure coming over the top of you, and the defensive tackles of Magnus White along with Massey. And that kind of takes your focus off the snaps.
2nd down, 28. Laws to 13 on the play after the 5-yard penalty. And now Anoka, who had been moving it down the field. Clock on the move, 5:12 to go in the quarter. Padani straight back, time, throws it over the middle. And there's a catch. A catch by Paulson. He gets all of that back and a little more inside the 20. He was wide open over the middle.
It was. I think they thought he was going to run a straight 9 route. Instead, he turned it up into a post and was able to find an opening there. Well, let's see how much this illegal procedure and bad snap will cost Anoka here on 3rd and 8. Obviously 4-down territory, although they have kicked a couple of field goals this season.
Gain of 20 on the play on that connection. Straight back, Padani looks toward the end zone and overshoots that receiver, Carson Ban. He would have had a first down. Now it's 4th down.
Yep, he made that throw even before Ban was making the cut. So when he got back to his route wasn't quite deep enough. So 4th, you want to see, hey, do you want to kick the field goal? Get some points. A field goal gets you back to within 14. They're going to head for it right now. Here we go.
Good crowd on hand here on MEA Thursday. A lot of people playing hooky from work, including me. 4th down. Looks toward the left corner. Padani scrambles out of there, back into the middle. It is caught. Should be a first down. That is Ban again. Just found a spot, settled in, and makes the catch. It'll be 1st and goal, Tornadoes.
I like that Bam. He had 13 catches, 108 yards coming into this game, but he got just enough past that first down marker to be able to pick it up.
Asman up the middle near the 5, short gain. It'll be 2nd and goal from there. That's the 10th play of the drive for the Tornadoes. As we come up on 4 to go in quarter number 1, it's been all Rebels so far. They lead at 17-0.
I thought the statistical comparison between the two teams was interesting because they couldn't be more opposite. 254 games or yards in the air is what Anoka's averaging, and 67 on the ground. Meanwhile, for Champlin Park, they're averaging 165 running and about 90 on the ground.
2nd down and goal. Padani straight back, has time to the end zone. Touchdown, Eli Paulson. Another one for number 7, and he adds to his season total, number 9 on the year.
Yeah, and you know, he surpassed 1,000 on an earlier catch on this possession. So they've got something going there. He reads it well and found the end zone. The old swinging gate happening now. For that extra point, you can see the line switched out. Now they come back.
And now the kicker coming on. Cham Kwame. And the holder, Trey Borchers. Chapman the snap. And that one is plenty good. So Anoka answers back, and they put together a terrific drive. 76 yards, 11 plays capped by Padani to Paulson. And by the way, that was the 13th touchdown throw of the season for Padani. So that passing game for the Tornadoes, it is a real deal.
It is, and you know what? They had to overcome illegal procedure. They had to overcome a bad snap that took them back another 10 yards. So, hey, kudos, call-outs for that offense, and there's the extra point to make it 17-7. So they overcame a couple of setbacks, and they get on that board with 3:38 to go. And I'll tell you, that was an impressive drive.
Yeah, and we mentioned 76 yards. By my count, 11 plays, 4:03 the time of the drive. And they throw the ball, and they did throw the ball a lot. And really, Ethan Masman, the running back, it's just for a wrinkle. They want to throw the football.
Yep, it's just to kind of keep that defensive line and linebackers honest time to time. But when you rear back and you can throw it like you can, and you got a receiver core, hey, why not utilize it?
Cham Kwame to kick it off for the Tornadoes. And it is in the air. Good kick down to the 3-yard line, and the Rebels are going to return it. Good return, 35, 40, still on his feet. Looks like it's Tony. Tony's still going, 20, inside the 20-yard line, knocked out at the 16-yard line. How about that? Khalil Tony took it inside the 5 and now has it deep in Anoka territory. Wow, what a return.
Rebels have had some explosive plays here in the first quarter already, not to even mention the 62-yard dart run by Tootie on their first offensive play, but they've been able to come up with a safety, and now this kickoff return.
79 yards by my count. Roughly 78-79 is what I've come up with, Joe. A pretty good return.
It makes for a much shortened field. Ball on the 16-yard line of Anoka.
And they're going to hand it off, and the running back, Muhammad Dakuli, carries it for a couple right up the gut.
Look at this wall. He gets through a couple of arm tackles. Someone goes throwing a body by. Another arm tackle that just was of no problem for him. It was like going through a toll gate. And finally, knocked out of bounds. I thought he was taking that to the house, Steve. But good rundown, good hustle on that backside by Anoka to bring him down.
And the quarterback once again for Champlin Park, Kaluza, is going to hand it off. They're going to try the edge around the corner toward the pylon. Driven out of bounds at the 1-yard line is Tootie. He already has one touchdown on the game, bidding for another. And that was a good carry there.
He just broke the century mark in terms of yards gained already here in the first quarter as Tootie.
Gain of 13 on the play, first and goal Rebels. So Anoka, a long drive to get on the board. Now the Rebels knocking on the door in the backfield. Dakuli and Tootie. Tootie wearing 6, already has 1. And they're going to roll the quarterback out, and Kaluza's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown. 23-7 Rebels.
Wow, Kaluza doesn't seem like he lacks any confidence, taking some good snaps, picking up a touchdown along with a couple of 2-point conversions already here in this first quarter, and 2:37 remaining, and already it has been the Rebels reaching that end zone 3 times.
Oh, and it's got to be demoralizing. The Tornadoes come back, get a touchdown, and then they give up the big return and a quick score for the Rebels. Snap, spot, and kick is good. And that is Evan Swanstrom on the extra point, 24-7 Champlin Park.
Well, you get ready as a defense to say, okay, hey, the offense just scored. Now we get it. Let's go. Defense, it's your time. All right, get up there. The kickoff happens, and they start on your 16-yard line. That is Anoka's, and it takes them 3 plays to get in from there.
16 yards, 3 plays. And by the way, 47 seconds. So didn't take him long at all, Joe, to get right back up by 17. We're still in quarter number 1.
What was the over-under in Vegas for today's game? I'm not sure what they had it marked as, but right now I'd say around 55 might be a good number.
And once again, a pretty good crowd on hand. Students here once again, MEA Thursday, a lot of parents. And a great day for football. It's warmed up, temps in the 50s, cloudy skies. And here is the kickoff by Miles. Short kick inside the 18, bobbled by the Tornadoes. They pounce on it at the 20-yard line. So they catch a bit of a break over there by pouncing on it. And that was Ethan Masman who caught it, bobbled it. And the Tornadoes lucky to hang on there.
Yeah, that's the case sometimes when you're returning and you're down and you think, I got to do more. You get to look at the offensive unit kind of taking an assessment of their last couple of drives. Not many plays to take a look at. As you mentioned, just 3 on this last drive of 16 yards before they punched it in. Very impressive offensive display this afternoon. It appears the afternoon game appeals to the Rebels as well.
First and 10, Anoka at their own 20-yard line. Padani drops back. Here's the slant. It is caught by Paulson. Who else? And they just can't guard him. He has a gain of 15 on the play, first down Anoka.
Yep, and they're giving him space to come off the line, and with the 4 receivers they have, 2 to each side most of the time, their formation anyway, and the same here. There's a lot of room in that middle. They are doubling up over the top with a safety. So, but he's catching those passes 5 yards and running.
Rebels blitz, and they are all over that play. Jumping into the backfield right off the snap was Matthew Heinen to blow up that play. And the Anoka Tornadoes are going to lose ground on that play. It just no chance. The Rebels all over it defensively.
Yep, well, coming in, the Rebels defense had been surrendering about 150 yards per game on the ground, and in the air, 72.
They lose 4, second down and 14. Padani waiting for the call. Paulson lined up to the right. He'll drop back, looks left. He's going to lob it out into the Anoka bench. It'll be third down. And the Rebels all over in the backfield there defensively. Harry Massey was in his face.
Yep, I think he could feel that pressure coming from Massey. Massey on the season has 2.5 sacks and 6 tackles for a loss, 33 tackles.
Yeah, and he is at left tackle. Magnus right there in the middle, and then Michael Bruggers over on the end. That 3-man front for Champlin Park. Done a pretty good job as they're trying to get back to 500, finish the regular season at 4-4. Tornadoes looking for victory number 2. They've had some tough luck defeats. Rush is on. He's being chased. He'll be sacked back at the 26-yard line. And the Rebels defensively all over that one. Terrific play.
I was watching Heinen line up. He leads the team in sacks. But look at this. He was lined up over the top of one of the receivers out wide, and then he came on a blitz and was able to run down the Anoka quarterback. Not only does Heinen lead the team with that, he's picked up now he leads the team in tackles for loss with 13, and that's his second sack of the season.
So 4 on the play. 4th down, 18. They're going to punt it away. And it is a short punt hitting at the Anoka 48. It'll go into Rebel territory, and it'll be down at about the 42-yard line. And that's where Champlin Park will start. Still quarter number 1, up 24-7, 33.6 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Well, and you'd like to say, well, are they going to air it out? Are they going to see what they can do passing the ball? The first response to that is why. You can see the Halloween crowd is just around the corner as well. The orange out, apparently, is what the Rebels school has going to date. And again, this, the 31st visit and experience of the Battle for the Paddle.
Rebels are going to run it. Tootie just keeps those legs churning, gains about 5. Didn't look like he would get anything. It'll be his second down and 5 yards. So quite a game for the running back. Once again, Richelieu Tootie, senior running back, having quite a game.
Well, I know that Coach Keenan loves to run the ball. He was a defensive lineman in college at Moorhead State. And I know the one game they had against Woodbury, he said, I was disappointed we didn't get our running backs and Russell 25 carries. We had 20, but I want him for at least 25. We may see that from Tootie this afternoon.
We have 1 quarter in the books. Rebels coming back. We'll have second down and 5 near midfield. They lead Anoka 24-7 in the battle for the paddle here on QCTV.
Drew Kaluza, who has 1 pass, 1 complete.
Second down and 5 for the Rebels. Tootie again, left side, near the first down marker, just over midfield. We'll see. It looks like he's going to get the 48-yard line according to where the linesman is standing. And they're going to move the sticks, and the Rebels, to start quarter number 2, have a first down, up by 17.
Well, you see a recap of what transpired. 62 yards to the house for Tootie. Tootie ended up with 6 carries, 114 yards in that first quarter alone, averaging 19 yards per carry. So Tootie got it started there. A safety, good defensive pressure here by the Rebels. As you can see, that also created a good field position for the Rebels. And they were able to punch it in with Kaluza. Kaluza with 1 touchdown on the ground and 2 two-point conversions, both on the run, of which he's converted. And then you saw 1 additional one. So it's amazing. Anoka in that first quarter, 100 yards passing, 3 yards rushing.
Yeah, and you look at what Anoka's done on the year. 254 yards a game through the air, just 67 on the ground. Short gain there on first down. Well, actually 4 yards, take that. Second down and 6 for Champlin Park. The ball carrier a moment ago was DeCooley. And they're going to try the edge and a cutback attempt. Not much doing there for Ogunlana. Remy Ogunlana maybe got the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 6.
Yep, let's see what they're going to run here. One thing that the Rebels do a great job of executing is a screenplay. And you see it from time to time by some of the high schools, and they throw it out wide many times to a wide out or a flanker that's out wide in terms of that screen, but they run an extremely proficient screen pass to the running back.
There's the play action. Kaluza rolling out left. He's going to throw it on the run, and it's in the hands and out of the hands of the intended receiver, I believe Blake Stahl. It would have had the first down and more. Now it's going to be fourth down for the Rebels.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to underhand it to him. Just right through the mitts.
Yeah, and he probably could have run for it as well, and he threw it out there. Coming into the game, Kaluza, 1 pass attempt, 1 completion for 23 yards.
Hey-oh, yes. Now he's 1 for 2 on the season.
Fourth down, 6 yards to go. Kaluza's going to drop back, and he's going to punt it away. And end over end is going to carry inside the 10. It'll be down there, so a good job. Kaluza just kind of the quick kick. And now Anoka, with 9:52 to go in quarter number 2, will have a lot of field in front of him.
Well, you know what? Hey, a big win, at least for now, for Anoka to at least stop that Rebels offense and get the ball back in the hands of that run and gun type of offensive structure there. So when you got a quarterback who can sling it, you can get points in a hurry. You got to use that, especially right now. You're down 24-7, and we're just is Anoka getting their first possession of the second quarter.
But Annie, the quarterback, Masman, the running back, and the question is, where's number 7? Number 7, slot left. They throw it out to the right, and the intended receiver, Carson Band, second down and 10. Couldn't come up with it.
There's the throwing motion there. You could tell that looked like it came off almost the end of his hand, or just an arm slot on his toss. I thought I saw that ball come off of his pinky, and that is kind of the direction in which the ball ended short.
Now splitting further out is Eli Paulson.
D-backs are so strong as well here.
Podani over the middle, going back to get it is Paulson. Throw behind him, still hauls it in. It'll set up third down and short. That was a great catch.
And there you see it, right in the spot, but closing that gap up quickly. The Rebels, as I mentioned, Anoka now with that reception, 106 yards here in the first half throwing, and just 3 on the ground.
Third down and 3. Let's see if they run or throw. Padani drops back. Under pressure is going to try and run, and he's going to be wrapped up by Heinen. Well, he got him for a tackle for a loss as the quarterback, Padani, tried to run out of there. And it looks like the Tornadoes are most certainly going to kick it away deep in their own territory. But that was just an excellent defensive play by Matthew Heinen, the junior linebacker.
Yeah, you know, Heinen looked like he was going to come in on the blitz, but the defensive tackles got so much progress and push that he went underneath and just happened to find the quarterback, Podani, and put him down.
Here's the punter, Kwame. He is also their kicker. Fair catch signal made at the 44-yard line by Champlin Park. And that was Giovanni Fon making that fair catch. They're going to actually spot it at the 45-yard line. And now Champlin Park in a short field up 24-7.
You know, in high school, we played our games in the afternoon. For the longest time, we didn't have lights. But I love the afternoons. The fields are Fridays, but this Thursday feels like it's a bonus game, a bonus day, doesn't it?
What I really like is sneaking out of my full-time job to do a football game here on QCTV. That's what I really like.
You took a bag of rocks, threw them on the far side of the building, and ran out the other side, I'm guessing.
Well, I sent an email
that's my
and said
tactic.
I was going to be out. And here's that running back, Tootie, who's had quite a game. Up the sideline, inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 13 and a Rebels first down. What a game for Tootie.
Oh, gosh. Another 13-yard run. Gets to the outside, cuts back, and keeps those feet moving. Picks up another 3 yards after the contact.
You know, they would call me Honest Abe if my name was Abe. But I told everybody the truth. Mm-hmm. And then I would come back late in the day to mop up. There's a handoff up the middle, short gain for the Rebels. And that could have been DeCooley, who's had a lot of the inside work in this game, and it is number 7.
Well, hey, tough loss last week for the Rebels, or a nice one. I thought for sure we'd see this and they'd maybe want to kind of get their offensive game plan in play, even though, but right now they're content with, hey, just hitting that run, and they have their backup quarterback, Kaluza, doing just fine, and we have yet to see anything to wrestle.
Here's Tootie off right tackle, and not much good defensive play by the Anoka Tornadoes. Zach Anderson with a good play, standing him up and knocking him down. It'll set up third down for Champlin Park at the 28. And they got about 6 to go here. They need it just outside the 22-yard line.
If I said they lost, I meant the win they had last week against Tatino at 2014.
Yeah, in Champlin Park's year, they opened with the loss. Woodbury, you saw it on QCTV, 21-7. Then on the road, a win at Wayzata. And they were able to beat Blaine here. Then they dropped 3 in a row, Minnetonka, Maple Grove, and St. Michael, Albertville. Here's the quarterback, not much doing. The quarterback tried to keep her, Kaluza, and he couldn't get to the outside. And the Anoka Tornadoes did a phenomenal job, and that was Zach Anderson again. Now 4th down.
Defensively coming up big, forcing the Rebels into a potential throwing situation unless they drop back again and do another quick kick. But they've got kind of a short at 29 yards. That's tough to drop that quick kick in.
Yeah, and when you're up by 17 in this spot, you probably don't kick the field goal. I would assume they're just going to go straight up here. Anoka 1-6 coming in, probably deserve better. More on that coming up. Kaluza rolling out under pressure. Flags fly. This one's coming back because he steps out of bounds near the 25-yard line.
We'll see if it'll come back. If he's short, they'll probably just forget about the penalty and take the ball.
Yeah, we're going
to
refuse that penalty.
Yep.
Even if he was
offense number 16, that penalty is declined. First down.
So Anoka will start with better field position here after the Rebels turn it over on downs. Now, I brought this up. Anoka coming in 1-6. They got beat by Shakopee. Tough opener at Goodrich, 49-20. Tough loss to Forest Lake at Goodrich. Then they go on the road, lose by 4 at Burnsville. Then they shut out Roseville at home. They go on the road. Tough loss at Mounds View. Very good White Bear Lake team handled them at Goodrich. and then that 29-28 loss to Park at Cottage Grove all the way out in Cottage Grove. So you could make, a break here, a break there. The Tornadoes could be 3-4 easily.
Very much. Talked to Tim Anderson last week a bit. Said, yeah, that team is so close, Anoka, to being at least a 500 team. Just a couple of player tools away, and we get another penalty.
Dead ball, delay game on the offense, number 3.
Oh, that
5-yard
hurts.
penalty, remains first down.
It's been that kind of start for Anoka with the penalties. They had the intentional grounding in the end zone. They just haven't at times been able to get out of their own way. And they had some miscues on that touchdown drive as well that they were able to overcome.
Yeah, and I know, hey, they'll say he's been a quarterback for most of that year, but a sophomore, having a year of understanding, getting those plays in and out, but also getting those signals in a little earlier for that quarterback would help.
Padani lobs it down the near sideline, jump ball, what a catch!
Interception.
And then an interception at midfield. I thought the intended receiver of Beckway had it, but it was picked off by the Champlin Park Rebels. Tony, Khalil Tony, in that jump ball situation at midfield, gets the pick.
Well, I know a lot of times in the NFL they say, hey, look back for the ball, but otherwise they also say, look where the arms are going and try to get their hands in that location, and that's exactly what Tony did. Had his head, back of his head to the quarterback most of that toss, maybe a split second before it received, but he followed those arms and where they were and turned and got his hands up there. Beautiful pick. Wow.
Handoff, Tootie with room, 40, he could go, 20, 10, touchdown, 50 yards.
And right now we got to start looking at rushing records for Champlin Park running backs, because that scamper would put him close to 170 already here in this first half. Boy, no one touched him. He was not touched. If you can watch him read those blocks, he's patient and poised as that runner. Just doesn't slam into the hole. He waits for those holes to develop. What execution by the offensive line if a running back has that many yards in the first half.
Poor snap, and it's picked up by Ottinger. He's going to roll out, throw into the end zone, 2-point try. Flags fly. It is caught by Blake Stahl.
Wonder if you had an eligible man downfield on that play.
So the bad snap, improvising Ottinger. A Rebel was banged up, pops off the field. He'll be okay. One of the guys up front.
Ineligible downfield, number 74 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
Bam, nailed it. Again. Yeah, there we go. It's at least they can get a chance at this, maybe the extra point. Check the depth. Should you want to try a field goal in postseason, but I think they're going to go with the 2-point conversion. Or no. It is. They are going to kick it.
Yeah, Swanstrom's going to come on the field. Holder again, Ottinger. And they'll try it again. They're up 30-7, trying to make it 31-7 with 5:51 to go. Snap spot. This kick, low line drive. It does sneak over the crossbar. Well, after all of that, it is 31-7. Champlin Park, 50-yard touchdown run to go with the 62-yard touchdown run for Richelieu Tootie.
That extra point made it by probably a centimeter over that crossbar. That thing, I've never seen one so low get over that post in the crossbar, but it did. Hey, Champlin Park is in the zone right now, 31-7. They've jumped out to such an impressive lead here still with 5:51 to go in the first half. They really want that paddle.
Yeah, and I've asked around a little bit about why 1 o'clock on Thursday, because most of the games are on Wednesday night going into MEA weekend. We know that they've moved games around due to an official shortage. And I'm just wondering why they didn't play at 7 tonight, because there are some night games. There are a handful of games around the state at 7 o'clock tonight. So
yeah, I see that. And
curious why they did it today at 1.
I'm liking it, though. Enjoying it.
Now, do you need to go back to work after this, or? Are you going to call it a day, Joe?
I may have to do some extended work once I get back. But I would say I'm enjoying this time right here at Champlin Park High School in the midst of the 31st year of the battle for the paddle, in which Champlin Park has a 19-10 lead. And Anoka took it home last year in a win.
Miles kickoff taken by Masman at the 8-yard line. He will return it over the 20. Still on his feet, and then he's wrapped up and dropped at the 25-yard line. Good coverage down there by Champlin Park. And a guy who's rushed for a couple of touchdowns. Tootie was in on the tackle, so he's having quite a day. He loves these matinees.
An adequate day.
Yeah.
And just continuing to just pound it. You can see some of the finals, too, from last night's football games. Andover certainly kind of thought it might go that way. They had a convincing win over Cambridge. The big one I was watching was at Elk River versus St. Francis.
Yep.
And Elk River took that. So in all cons with a section that's not very big.
Well, Elk River's vaunted running attack, hitting on all cylinders this year. They're going to be a very tough out. And the quarterback, Padani, swings it out. Has been hit and dropped immediately. 2 Rebels over there defensively. Tony was there. Schornstein were there. They're going to lose yardage. It'll be second down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, the offensive team gets another look. Watching the sets, watching execution. And on that particular passing play of execution for Anoka, the running back actually ran about 20 yards before he got the ball and still lost 2 yards.
Tornadoes send trips to the right. They're obviously in white. Rebels in their home navy.
Just took a while to get that pass out there, and by that time the Rebels could cover.
Podani looks near his sideline. It's caught at the 35-yard line and stepping out of bounds. Good play there. Effie Abekwe, a sophomore, makes that grab. That was a good route, and he was the only player on this near side of the field and stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, good little back shoulder toss. Abekwe now 29 catches on the year for about 265 yards.
Gain 11. First down, Tornadoes. Padani rolling right, throws it out. It is caught. Who else? Eli Paulson with a solid gain on first down, setting up second down and short out at the 43-yard line.
I think those two must have a transmitter like the pitcher and catcher do in Major League Baseball. They kind of know where they're going to have that location and which route are they going to run on that same wavelength.
Yeah, and Eli Paulson is one of those football players that would just be a great MIAC player. Throw it down the middle, nobody home. The intended receiver way down the middle is Trey Borchers, but the Rebels had 2 players back deep and outstanding coverage, including Emmett Tunt way back there.
Yeah, safety, excellent job of cutting them off, getting in front and sealing off that pattern. And they do such a great job. That was Ottinger with that play.
They're down 3 yards to go, 43-yard line for the Anoka Tornadoes. Coming up on 4 to go in quarter number 2. That throw tipped in the air, might have been picked off. We'll see if they're going to say it hit the turf.
It is a Rebels interception.
That is a terrific play defensively there by Ben Bremer. And somehow grabbed that and kept it off the rug here at Champlin Park and Rebel Stadium.
Bremer, I just love the way this kid plays. That's his 3rd interception of the year. He took 1 to the house, but that was such a great individual play. Pure strength, what athleticism. Got a hand in there, caused a deflection, and then out-grappled the wide receiver there for Anoka to come down with possession and the pickoff. 2nd interception here this first half, and now the Rebels see if they can punch it in from 45 yards out.
Here's Kaluza, 5 yards deep, is going to hand it off, and this is the running back, Remy Ogunlana, the senior. And probably didn't get much, maybe lost a yard there, Joe.
I've come to kind of resign the thought that we would see Russell at all today. Since if he hasn't played now, he's not going to be playing for the remainder of the game, and maybe just resting him up.
Well, and what a game by Tootie today. It just absolutely extraordinary.
Here's a look at this pick. Just what an effort. God. I mean, it's just how well he played the receiver. And the last one with Band, and then they come back with a pick.
Palooza rolls out, throws it down the sideline. Jump ball. Little short of the intended receiver, Jalen Chambers. Good defensive play by the Tornadoes. And Noah Thielen coming over to knock it away. And that's one, if he had it back when he looks at the film. Palooza, if he leads him a little bit more, that might be a touchdown.
Yeah, if he could have unleashed the toss and just aired it out. He had plenty of room, and he was behind the safety and the quarterback that he beat initially. So, yeah, definitely one he would like to have back.
3rd down and 11 for the Rebels, 46-yard line. 3:10 to go, quarter number 2. The Rebels lead it big, 31-7. Here's Ogunlana for a few to about the 43-yard line before he's wrapped up. Good defensive play there by the Anoka Tornadoes as they flow to the football nicely.
4th down here, and potentially just a quick kick, I'm guessing. I mean, they have the big lead, but I think we're going to see that. Yes, it is.
Palooza.
It'll be a punt.
Drops back.
Oh, my
Kicks
goodness.
it away into the line of scrimmage. Somehow made it all the way through. It was a low one.
Look at that roll.
And it's going to go inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. How that didn't hit someone is extraordinary.
Yeah, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I would think this is going to hit somebody. Boy, he just kind of throws it up and punts it instead of kind of dropping it. Until I would have bet the house there that was going to hit someone. It did not, but oh, wow. Hey, well, you see the scores down below as well. Blaine a winner, 21-16 over Osseo. But, everything is starting to kind of fall into place now as they get the state tournament seeds and everything else. You know, then they'll have section seeds as well. But for 6A, they have it component of some pretty quality teams that.
And I love the way they do it. 32 teams, you set the bracket, you play it off. Padani swings it back to Paulson. He is a blocker in front, cuts back, gets over the 20 to maybe the 22-yard line. He had a big guy in front of him, Grant Chapman, and that's going to set up 2nd down and short. So they roll right and then swing it back to Paulson, and they're going to line it up.
Just under 2 to go.
Padani straight back, throws it out. It is caught. It is caught there by Ban. And I don't know if Ban had enough. Probably if they give him the 24, and they're going to move the sticks. They do.
Heinen came up to make that tackle, but not before. Anoka could get that 1st down by probably just a half a yard of that.
1st down for the Tornadoes. 1:45 to go, quarter number 2. Padani back, has time. Throws it over the middle. Another jump ball. Knocked away by Tutt. Great defensive play by Tutt. Trey Borchers, the intended receiver, but Tutt probably had the best angle to catch that one, Joe.
Yep, and the sophomore Borchers did a good job of preventing an interception. Had the hand just on the top of the helmet, but yeah, nice play to prevent that pick as they come down with that pick at about the 50. I could see them trying to punch that thing in before the half. We've got a 31-7 lead for the Rebels. Anoka with the ball, 2nd down and 10.
Waiting for the snap is the quarterback, Peyton Padani. Takes that snap, helmet high, throws it out to the left, and that's over the head of the intended receiver, Abekwe. Good coverage over there by the Rebels. Tony, Tony was all over him, and a good decision by Padani to throw it into the Rebels bench.
I was going to say, that's such a long throw for a D1 quarterback, a senior
Anoka,
year.
first time out of the half.
That's what they look for, is that can you throw that particular route across the field, because that's almost a 35-yard pass, and you better throw that on the line.
Well, and he had plenty of arm, and I think it was a good decision because as he let it go, he realized there was outstanding coverage by the Rebels. Khalil Tony over there, and now we have a timeout on the field. But, you know, to kind of recap, it was just all Rebels early in this one, and they've been in cruise control since, and we're going to see the ranking.
And that's just the Metro top 10 ranking, not just 6A. So you got Maple Grove, they had a win last night, so undefeated this year. Rosemont, followed by Stillwater. And you got Lakeville South, St. Thomas Academy, Eden Prairie. Centennial still at number 7 with a mark of 5-2. Shakopee, and followed by Forest Lake, 6-1, and then Elk River, 5A team at 7-0.
And the way they run the football, I visited with Steve Hamilton about a week ago, and you look at the stats. They have 5 running backs and a quarterback that can all run the football. And you have absolutely no idea on many plays who has the football.
You don't. It's like a moving shell game.
1:33 to go in the quarter. Tornadoes have it, 3rd down and 10, their own 24-yard line. Rolling out, Padani sets up, gets hit, throws it over the middle. And the intended receiver was Paulson. Plenty of Rebels around the football there. And now it's Harrison Duino, a senior.
Yeah, Padani did not even see that ball. After he released it, he was hit pretty hard. Kind of a bracket hit there, and elevating that time. You don't see many receivers elevating like you just saw that from Paulson, but he wanted to bring that down, but it was even over his head by a good few feet. Punt here for Anoka.
Short punt, side of the foot, and that's going to drift out of bounds near the 40-yard line. I don't see any flags on the field as the Anoka Tornado punter, Chan Kwame, got hit, like I say, off the side of his foot. And now the Rebels, with 1:19 to go, are going to have it at the Tornado 41-yard line. Plenty of time.
41-yard line, and is there anything else you need to go? You need to look at other than Tootie, but Tootie's on the bench right now. But just, I can't imagine this being anything but a running play. And of course, boy, that was a tough-looking throw.
Yeah, play action, tried to hit Jalen Chambers on the slant. 2nd down and 10. So Drew Kaluza, they're going to stop the clock for a moment. Now the officials are going to huddle up and say, where do you want to have dinner?
Yep, after we pick up this flag.
Joe's buying.
That's right. Alligator Arms Rulin is buying. So it looks like something that came off the line. It was offsides or something they saw at the snap. Illegal procedure is what the penalty would be.
We got the Rev mic'd up.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So out to the 46-yard line. It is just a lovely October day for a regular season finale. Great weather. Pretty good weather on Wednesday night as well. It warmed up a little bit. That Week 7 game up at Andover, that was cold. Woo. 1st down and 15, and Augenlana gets a couple. And that'll take us likely under a minute. Rebels may run one more play before they call it a half. They led it 24-0 after 1. Put another touchdown on the board here in the 3rd. Actually, it was 24-7. Anoka got their touchdown in that first quarter. And then the Rebels, the only scoring here in quarter number 2. So it was 24-7, now 31-7.
Here's this run. If they don't get much, I'm going to guess Anoka's going to take the timeout. But they're
still on his feet, has a 1st down as he dives inside the 31 to maybe the 30-yard line. So a good run by Augenlana.
I was anticipating Anoka. I was thinking the same thing.
First time out of the half.
I would call a timeout. Hey, if we could stop them on that 3rd down, they had 2 timeouts left. Force them into a 3rd and 11. another timeout and maybe get something before the half. Get a spark going if you're Anoka, but unfortunately, but fortunate on the other side, Rebels. Another good running scheme right there. You can see the scheme just on that delay, and they execute so well. And that combined with some missed tackles by Anoka has been successful on that running game. Again, Tootie, I got to think, maybe 170 here in the first half.
2 TDs.
Yes, sirree. So first down and 35 seconds left.
Ogallala, the running back, and it's Kaluza. 5 yards back, drops back. He wants to air it out. Near side, tipped in the air, almost picked off by the Tornadoes. Noah Thielen, he'd love to have that back. Intended receiver was Novak inside the 10-yard line.
There you go. That's an interesting ball that Kaluza will throw. It was a kind of that old wounded duck.
Second down and 10 yards to go, but he is a backup quarterback.
Yes, sir.
And in a game where you're up 31-7, you know, maybe the Tornadoes don't appreciate it, but you want to get him some reps.
Oh, you do.
And you want him to be able to throw that football around a little bit.
You do.
And he's going to hand it off. Hoganlana following his blockers. Flags fly. He's going to be tackled for a loss, maybe at the 31, 32-yard line. Another flag flies. This could take a while to sort it out with 24.3 to go in the half.
This afternoon game is turning into flag day. But it is
holding on the offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Down.
Hey, if you're the Rebels, you just say, guys, let's get back to playing just almost perfect sharp. The technique, how we're delivering and executing the way we did the first quarter and a half, because you're starting to see them get just a little bit sloppy. And you kind of want to be sharp heading into those sections. You want to know you're playing at a proficient level.
Kaluza's going to roll out left. Going to throw that way, and it is caught at the 35-yard line. I think that's Chambers over there with the catch, and it is. Jalen Chambers hauls it in. And that was a really good throw, and that is not an easy throw for a right-handed quarterback to roll left and throw that way.
First completion of the half. We are at the end of the half.
And we see Tilke do that a lot. Tilke, who's out today, should be available for the playoff opener. And by the way, that is the end of the first half, but pretty good throw there by Kaluza. May give him some confidence for quarters 3 and 4. But it is all Rebels. 2 quarters in the books in the battle for the paddle today. A rare Thursday matinee here on QCTV.
QCTV is now hiring for part-time associate producers. You can have a blast utilizing top-of-the-line broadcasting equipment, watching live events, and have fun all while being paid to be a part of our team. Production experience doesn't matter here at QCTV. Whether you're a 30-year broadcasting veteran or just starting out, we will make sure that you are equipped to be a part of our high-quality productions. Not sure if you have the time to commit to a fixed schedule? No worries. QCTV utilizes flexible scheduling so that you can pick the shifts that you want to work on. To learn more, please visit our jobs page at qctv.org/jobs. From there, you can learn more about this position, and if interested, submit your application today.
Welcome to At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our area high school sports. I'm your host, Lauren Youngquist. The Huskies look to capitalize on their team's overall experience and progress of their success in recent years. Let's head out to Andover High School to check in with the team.
We have great kids, and so that's a consistency from year to year. This year on our girls' side, we have a very large contingent of seniors. And so we have a great leadership group and kids that have worked very hard, and they're going to be successful. So that makes it fun as a coach when you have a team that's going to be competitive and kids that have really bought in and work hard and enjoy that process of getting better. Our boys' side, we lost a couple of great runners and leaders, but we're a pretty deep team, and we feel we're going to be probably even more competitive than we were last year.
We lost one senior last year, however she was injured for most of the year, so we're not losing much on that aspect. We do have a lot of new people coming in, which is very good to see just because it helps us build numbers and that helps us train more. But I think we're looking pretty good this year, and it's basically the same as last year.
Yeah, definitely not losing a lot of seniors help because we're kind of just going into the next season with the same team dynamic, but we're all training better now.
Like sometimes you base yourself off of other people on your team, but it's kind of just go out and do your best.
Yeah, and you're out there for the whole time, as in like other sports, you have time for breaks and to think about stuff, but when you're running, there's no time to stop and think about what you're doing, you just have to keep going.
Also, a lot of people coming in have said that the support on the team is incredible, whether it's coming from racing to workouts, just the support we have and how we're like a family, I think really sets us apart from other sports.
Yeah, the team aspect and the individual part is definitely something that makes it unique. Going out there and you're trying to beat yourself every time, it's different than a lot of other sports. And also, while you're out there, it's not only about you, it's just you're racing for your team and trying to better yourself.
Also, one of those things that everybody knows is healthy for you, and so you're learning an athletic event that is going to benefit you for years to come. And so I think there's some satisfaction in that as well. They know they're going to be able to run when they get older. They know that they're going to know what to do properly. And so all of those kind of feed into being unique and a lifelong sport.
We sat down with Macy and Grace from the Anoka Tornadoes tennis team to get a unique perspective on the team's personality. Let's head out on the court to learn more.
What could you not live without? Cheese? I don't know. It could be cheese. Knowing you. Okay, your dogs? Do you have dogs?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs. Family? It could be family. Or I don't know. This is a hard one. Sushi? I feel like you said you don't like sushi. Okay, I'm gonna say cheese.
The answer was family, but that was a close second, actually.
Okay.
So, who on the team has the most screen time? Said Aaliyah, and that could be a possibility because it's Aaliyah.
Yeah.
She's always on TikTok. But it also could be Hayes because he's old. So
watching the tennis surf.
He loves,
over and over.
Oh my God, I don't see you put Aurora. I don't think it's Aurora because I don't think she's on her phone that much.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's Kaylin because even though she's on her phone, I don't think it's as much as my final answer is Aaliyah.
It was Aaliyah.
Oh shit.
Okay. You got it. Who is most likely to record a TikTok dance? Aaliyah? Well, she just did that at the other match we had, so it's very possibly her. Joey? No, I don't. Does Joey have TikTok?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, not Joey. Cammie? She could do it. She's kind of spontaneous. Hayes? No, not Hayes. I'm going to say Aaliyah.
You're right.
Yay.
Who has the best fashion sense? A is Hayes. And I mean, his matching red outfit is pretty fire today, but I don't think it's him. B is Cammie. I'm just gonna say I don't think it's Cammie either. C is Sophie, which I think is probably the close second, but I'm gonna go with Joey as my final answer because Joey is always dripping and is
always on point.
clothes.
Yeah, I did Sophie. That's who I thought.
All right.
Who takes the longest to get ready for school? Sophie? I feel like she puts a lot of effort into what she wears, so it could be her. Megan, Kay, I don't know. I feel like she tries too. Aaliyah, I think, I don't know. There's so many answers that could be right. Or Allie. No, I don't think it's Allie. She's still in middle school. I'm gonna say Aaliyah.
My answer was Sophie.
Okay.
Close. Who is the best table tennis player? A is Coach Grace, which you know, that's a possible answer because Grace is pretty good at most things she does, I think. B is Allie. I think it's not Allie because she's only 12, so she doesn't have experience. C is me, and I think it's me because I'm insane at table tennis. And D is Lexi. I don't think it's Lexi just because I think it's me.
I said Coach Grace,
Okay,
sorry.
fair enough, fair enough.
All right, that's close.
Cool.
The Rebels have an extensive depth on their girls swimming team. They are excited and driven to help each other reach success. We dove in to figure out how the Rebels look to compete in their 2022 season. That's it for this edition of At the Half. Make sure to keep up to date with all your local sports coverages by liking and subscribing to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Dreamers Vault Games. My name is Joe. We specialize in card games, board games, and tabletop miniatures. I'm Joe Wickland. I'm the manager at the Champlin Dreamers location. Dreamers Vault Games, we have 5 locations: Minneapolis, South St. Paul, Burnsville, Champlin, and St. Louis Park. So we offer all the different major games, whether it be the RPGs, miniatures, card games, stuff like that. We supply all the different accessories as well. But yeah, and then we have a game room, the main game room, and then a main card room, and then a miniatures game room as well. And then we do have 2 private rooms as well for like RPGs and stuff like that. So just continue to do business, expand our clientele. We got a lot of regulars. We just keep adding to our regular base throughout the year. So we got a great community, several different communities too for miniatures and cards and RPGs and stuff. So a lot of some of the programs that we have here too are run by the community itself. So we definitely want to welcome everybody in, and if they got ideas and want to promote some events and stuff, we definitely welcome that. We try to offer events and space for basically anybody else that wants to come up and start their games too. I think it's definitely the social aspect. Again, we try to provide a great atmosphere, and people have great experiences when they come in, just doing the events and stuff like that. So you might not get that same experience out of online gaming. I know like Magic has Arena and stuff like that online, Pokemon does too, but just coming in and being around other people. Of all the game stores around, I mean, we definitely pride ourselves in customer service, providing place to play, the different events and stuff like that. We're very active with the different communities, and I mean, that's what we're trying to build, is a bigger and better community for all the gamers. So, but yeah, otherwise we try to carry a good wide array of just the different games.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
So while technically you can't go surfing in Champlin, but I may have the next best thing. Head on over to Nautical Bowls in Champlin. Walk up to the counter.
Welcome to Nautical Bowls. How are we doing today? Good. So we're going with the Sunrise Bowl, cruiser size, 16 ounces. You got it.
Then have a seat at one of their beautiful surfboard tables and get ready to ride the waves. Nautical Bowls offers refreshing, delicious, and healthy plant-based treats. It's located right across the street from the beautifully restored Mill Pond, and you can find Nautical Bowls at the end of the strip mall.
It's been amazing. Champlin's been amazing. Everything, the reception we've got from the community is amazing. And it's awesome. We're trying to bring a little warmth to the Midwest here and kind of get those nautical summer vibes. So that's just what we want to set. You come in, our product is super aesthetic. It's very warm. It's appealing to the eye. So just have a warm, welcoming staff greet you when you walk in and get a little taste of summer when you're here. So.
The Sunrise Bowl? Enjoy.
It's kind of a healthy, fast, casual dining experience. So we have 8 different sorbets, all gluten-free, dairy-free, no refined sugar, 20 different ingredients. So a super simple menu. Like I said, 8 sorbets, 20 ingredients. We have 11 signature bowls. What I like to describe to guests when they come in, they've never tried us, is I'll give them our most popular bowls. So we have one of 2 directions you can go. You can go those very fruit-forward, bright colors, citrus, tart, very summer flavors, or you can go kind of the earthier tones, dark chocolate, nutty, a little bit more neutral, and you can kind of go off in those directions and they're put together for you. I also encourage them to make their own. You know, some people will walk in and they'll put, you know, the mango with the cacao, which to me is a little different, but for them, they love it and they come multiple times a week and they get that. So very simple menu, very simple ingredients, but together, I mean, they're fantastic. So it's a super aesthetic process. I think a lot of our guests come in so they can take a photo of our product and share it on social media. You know, it looks really good on camera, and it tastes even better. I've worked in many different cities in Minnesota and across the country, and you really do get a sense of community with Champlin. Something about it really does just scream community, tight-knit, people know each other, the kids are coming in, families are coming in. So the response has just been incredible.
To view the Nautical Bowls menu, place an online order, or to get more information, be sure to check out their website.
Christian Brothers Automotive in Andover is the first of its franchise in Minnesota and has been a beacon of light in the community since 2013.
So really it's to be a light to the automotive service industry. Just very simply, that's what we're about. It's to show others honesty, integrity, transparency in everything we do in servicing vehicles.
Paul Klobe is the owner and operator of Christian Brothers Automotive in Andover, and his passion for cars and serving others has been the driving force for all of their business.
I think it's what's at the core of why we do what we do, and that is really joy. That's really what we're about. We fix cars while we serve our community and while we serve our customers, and there's joy behind all of that. We love what we do. For us, it's serving others in what we're doing, and we just happen to fix cars at the same time. We provide full service, almost any service. Think anything a dealership can do, we can do for all makes and models of vehicles.
And what separates their business from the rest in the automotive industry is Christian Brothers' dedicated charity efforts across the country.
One thing that Christian Brothers Automotive does nationwide, including this facility, is every October we have what we call National Service Day. That's a day, Saturday during the month of October, October 15th this year, where all of our employees donate their time. A lot of our suppliers donate their products, and then Christian Brothers provides coverage of the cost of the remaining cost of services provided, but we offer free services to single mothers and families in need, oil changes and other major services that they may need, with the idea that a lot of them can't afford to keep their cars reliable the way that they need to, and so we set aside one day every year to provide those services free of charge.
Go to cbac.com to find out more about Christian Brothers' goals in customer service and what the nice difference is all about, putting an ease to any and all of your car repair concerns.
You know, we're blessed to be here and honored to serve the community of Andover. That's really, at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. What I care about as the owner is I want to make sure that people, no matter where they bring their vehicles, are being serviced honestly, correctly, and that they feel comfortable with the service that they're receiving, and that's really what we're about. We love to serve people, we love to serve the community, and you know, we're going to continue to do so. They can contact us directly at the store on the store number, and they can talk to actually any of our employees. They're aware of what that National Service Day is and what that's about, and any of us could provide that information and assistance.
Third quarter quarter coming up. It is the battle for the paddle. Champlin Park hosting Anoka. Rebels dominating 31-7. They led it 24-7 after one quarter of play. And the big story is the play of Richelieu Tootie for the Rebels. He was outstanding in both quarters today.
Also outstanding, the defense for the Rebels. 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions. An impressive one there by Tony. He's also had a beautiful kickoff return. Here's a nice handoff, the second long run of the game, the first of the second quarter for Tootie. And you're right, he's got 187
wow.
for Tootie at half and 2 touchdowns.
And the stats heavily in favor of Champlin Park, as you might expect.
Yeah, 10-7 in terms of first downs versus touchdowns. And it may seem that way, but then the rushing yards, here's a abominable difference, 234-1. I've got the stat guru, shall we say, Sherpa, just to my left. And he's been doing a phenomenal job. Keeps him each game every time you hear for Champlin Park if he's on top of it. Passing yards, though, Anoka leads that 141-7. Total yards as a whole, there you see the differential. And that would probably be a little different than 375-8, as you could add the running. Probably 142 is total yards to 375. Field turnovers are 2 for Anoka and none for the Rebels. And we are ready. The other one I believe we were looking at were penalties. And penalties, Anoka has 4, Champlin Park has 3. So we are ready for the second half, and it's gorgeous. I love the light, and we're still going to be light once this game is done, Steve. That means you and I can walk home and kick it out and maybe do some stuff and maybe kick some field goals on the fild. But it's exciting.
I did point it out again. I do need to go back to work. So there's that. But great day and great crowd on hand for this one. A rare Thursday afternoon regular season game. I think you can go back over the years and say, that Anoka and Champlin Park combined over the years haven't played too many matinees. But they are here. MEA Thursday, great student contingent from Anoka, great student contingent. And all the seniors, not only on the football team, but dance, cheer, and marching band were all honored at the half here at Champlin Park today. Anoka will kick it off. They're down 31-7. And Anoka, once again, you look at this season, at the moment 1-6, headed for a 1-7 finish in the regular season, but they have had some heartbreaking defeats this year and probably deserve better than the one lead coming in, but the Rebels have certainly dominated. And here we go, quarter number 3. Cham Kawami to kick it off. High end over end, floating near the goal line, and taken at the goal line, and straight up the middle of the field come the Rebels, and will carry it over the 25 to near the 27-yard line. Good, solid return there by Champlin Park.
As the Rebels trying to avenge last year's battle for the paddle loss, trying to get it back here this season. Of course, the Rebels have a 19-10 lead in that rivalry. This is the 30th year. And 19-10 lead, and hoping to make it 20-10 after this afternoon's game.
Yeah, Tornadoes got it a year ago, and the Rebels went winless on the 21 campaign. They certainly broke that string with that win on the road at Wayzata in week 2. And the quarterback's going to hand it off, and here's Tootie again over the 35 to maybe the 36-yard line. Tootie with that monster first half takes a handoff from the quarterback, Drew Kaluza. He hasn't done it alone. The O-line's done a great job for the Rebels.
Oh, the first run of the game, he wasn't touched. They opened up such a gap. We call it 169. A big roadway, a big hole, and untouched in that first carry of the game, 60+.
They have an H-back slide in front. Here's Tootie for a first down, maybe a little more. He only needed a yard and maybe got a yard and a half. as he was wrapped up almost immediately. It is Ellingson, Kramer, Nelson, Payne, and right up front for the Rebels. And the wingback, Luke Gilk. Mohamed Dakuli has had some carries today, but the bulk of the work has been Tootie, and Tootie did get the yard he needed out to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 Rebels, and we're under 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Champlin Park leading at 31-7. Tootie again inside, bounces to the right, out to about the 42-yard line. Ankle tackle there made by the Tornadoes. Number 44, Ian with Tech.
A 4-yard pickup for Tootie, so that puts him at 201 yards rushing this afternoon. We had mentioned coming into the game, the Rebels were averaging about 170 on the ground. They've amassed that, and there's Anoka who jumps offside. This is also a great opportunity for the Rebels to be able to rest their starting quarterback. Also, they get a
Dead
chance
ball.
to
Encroachment, defense number 53, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
They also get a chance to rest Arthur Russell, their leading rusher, who came in with 600 yards. So,
and they'll get plenty of rest. Next game, first game of the playoffs, or the bracket of 32 and 6A coming up a week from Friday to be announced. 2nd down and 1 following the penalty. Tootie slips, gains his footing, gets to the edge, and will have the 1st down, not much more, as he's thrown out of bounds near midfield, and they'll move the sticks again.
That's all they needed. Just got enough to move the chains, and the Rebels are going to probably be content, maybe mixing in a heavy dose of running and maybe 1 or 2 passes, as we are already under 10 minutes.
Yeah,
9:45 remaining here in the third.
Joe, we touched on it in quarter number 2, up 31-7. You say, well, why would you throw the ball? You do want to get some reps for Kaluza going forward, even though your starter, Tilke, is going to be. Here's Kaluza trying to get to the edge, and there's going to be a flag. It's going to be a hold where that one was thrown. He was finally run down by the Tornadoes defensively. Good play there. Wrestling him down was Braden Whaling, a senior.
Holding on the offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 1st down.
Yeah, well, and you take this away and you think, boy, both of these quarterbacks, at least the starting quarterbacks for most of the year, Tilke, a sophomore, what experience he got this past year. He'll do nothing but elevate his play and his skill for that position next year. And the same thing goes for the way for the Anoka quarterback.
Yeah, Podani done a really good job. And he's going to roll out, throw it over the middle. It is caught. It is caught by Gilk. Gilk, a big gainer. It was 1st and 20. He probably got 21, and he did right on the dot. 21 yards to the 40-yard line. That was just a crossing route over the middle, and a good throw by Kaluza to hit him on the run.
Kaluza threw a dime right here. He's going to his left, throws back to his right, and hits him right in stride. What a dime to Gilk. Assuming that's his sister, maybe that's on the volleyball team for Champlin Park. Ranked number 1 in the state. Got Gilk.
1st down and 10 for the Rebels. Kaluza going to hand it off. Ogunlana, not much in the middle. He got stacked up, and a good job by that Anoka defensive front to just kind of plug up the middle.
So I got clarity after that. And not only, it's not just a sister, it's his twin. The Gilks are twins. It's amazing. Sophomores, they've got to be the most talented twins. She's 6'2", left-handed, and I'm telling you, she leads the team in kills, and I wouldn't want to be in front of her with hockey equipment on.
I saw them early in the year at Eastridge, and they looked really good. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. And this is Ogunlana. Good solid gain before he's driven back.
I like the disciplines those running backs have just to kind of stay. They got the hand on the blocker in front, and they stay patient. The old stay in your lane, dude, and he's doing that. He's staying in that lane, trusting those blockers. Why wouldn't you trust that offensive line who has executed at such a high level this afternoon?
Logan jungling the tackle, setting up 3rd down and 3 for the Rebels as the clouds thin out now. A little more sunshine, 3rd down and 3. This Thursday afternoon matinee. Pass thrown toward the corner of the end zone, a little too far for Elijah Novak. So Kaluza uncorked, pretty good looking ball, a little too far for Novak. 4th down and 3.
Hey, that was probably his best thrown ball of the day, just as he was getting hit. But was able to get some spin on that throw and just got it off before he got leveled by the Anoka pass rusher.
4th down and 3, 7:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Rebels were up 24-7 after one. Tootie, that big 62-yard touchdown run on the Rebels' first play from scrimmage, set the tone. They've never really looked back. Kaluza waiting for the snap, and I think Anoka was offside. The nose tackle jumped offside.
Second time that's happened on this opening drive in the second half.
And I think they're going to get Daniel Smith.
Good ball. Encroachment number 69 on the defense.
Yep.
5-yard penalty results in 1st down.
That is Berglund. Max Berglund, the nose tackle.
Rebels are like this because the Rebels in the 3rd quarter this season have been outscored 43-8. And they like to make that correction. Starting this first drive of the second half, and you wonder, is that related to adjustments or what teams have done coming back in that 3rd quarter? But that's a pretty good margin for a 3rd quarter. The 1st quarter, the Rebels outscored their opponents 43-36. We covered it earlier that Anoka had been outscored immensely in that 1st quarter, where they find themselves chasing the remainder of the game.
Ogunlana, no gain, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Drew Kaluza, one of the seniors honored at the half. As we mentioned, football team, marching band, dance team, cheerleaders, all the seniors honored at the half in the game. Here's Ogunlana, a little more room near the 20. It'll be short of the 1st down, but they finally got a little real estate to roam on, and it'll set up 3rd down and short.
I'd love to see a GoPro on a helmet for a running back, and especially watch the running backs be so patient and poised with their runs. Watch it. Stays back, sees the cut. But you can't just sprint right to that hole. You got to allow things to develop.
3rd down, short 3. Drew Kaluza takes that snap. Ogunlana again. Good surge. 15 still on his feet, where he's finally knocked down at the 12-yard line. More than enough for a Rebel 1st down.
There's another look. Not with the GoPro, but straight at it. Good camera work here. Maybe, you know, with QCTV, we put a camera on the head. We could call it a Joe Pro instead of the GoPro. But get a look at the Rebel fans in attendance, and the sun is out and it rocks. High school football in the afternoon. I just absolutely enjoy it.
Running on the play, 1st down at the 12-yard line. And Drew Kaluza's been leading the way once again. Preston Tilkey not available. Lower body injury. He's going to keep it. And it isn't going to fool the Tornadoes. Good defensive play by Anoka defensively. And that was Alexander Wimmer, the junior, grabbing him by the waist and throwing him down.
Just 2nd down, and we're going to be under 5 minutes to play. And it's not running time. It's just because they've been running the ball that we'll have under 5 remaining in this 3rd quarter by the time they snap it. Impressive drive. Let's see if they open it up for a pass attempt here.
2nd down and 11, lost to 1 on the keeper by Kaluza. And they're going to try the end around, slot back left, carrying it to the right. Ogunlana got back to the 10-yard line before the Tornadoes wrapped him up, and pursuing that play, Zach Welch, a sophomore. Good job by Welch. And now it's 3rd down and 10 from the 10-yard line. A 1st down near the 2.
Third and 8 here. We'll see what they have on their call play list for 3 and 8 for the Rebels. We approach now 4 minutes. Fast moving third quarter.
2 running backs out there, and now we got a timeout coming.
Timeout Champlin Park. First timeout of the half.
So we had learned at the half, if you're wondering why we're playing on MEA Thursday at 1 o'clock. Joe's loving this. He doesn't need to go back to work. But what we've learned is that there was an attempt to move it to 7 o'clock tonight. And once again, officiating is at a premium in all sports right now. And particularly football, putting together the crew. Apparently, it had to do with availability of officials, etc. And here we are at 1 o'clock out of that timeout. They're down an 8 from the 10-yard line. The running backs back there, DeCooley and Tooney. And then we got a play action. Kaluza rolling left, throwing on the run toward the end zone. DeCooley a catch at the 2-yard line. He's dropped right there, but it should be a first and goal for the Rebels. Terrell Cummings made a hit immediately, preventing the score, and now we have that first and goal. Good pitch and catch.
Well, you know what? They dragged across the middle, came underneath the route. They thought the primary route was targeted up top, and that was going to go to Novak, but coming up underneath as well after cutting underneath and dragging across the middle of the field was Chambers, who gets the reception and a first down.
DeCooley, the lone setback. He'll get the call, walk into the end zone, a touchdown for the senior Muhammad DeCooley, and the Rebels extend their lead to 43-7 with 3:39 to go in the third quarter.
Oh, you gotta love it. DeCooley, 6'2", 200 pounds, picks up the running touchdown, his first of the season. And what a reward. You gotta love the coaching staff who will reward those players, their commitment, and gets him the rushing touchdown. Bad snap.
High snap rolling out. Ottinger, that comes up short. Second bad snap of the game. And I don't see any flags, so point after no good as Swanstrom lined up. They had a low snap and now a high snap, Joe.
Yeah, not to be a pessimist, but you certainly find what the elements you need to work on come postseason. And on top of it, you're not going to get this nice of weather to snap and put that hold down. So, as somebody who used to be a holder in high school, when you get a bad snap sometimes, I can remember I just got thwarted, just stolted on one that I was trying to get, and it got hit in the nose, and then I tried to come off the field. I didn't have a concussion. I just happened to be excited, but got a little dizzy temporarily and tripped. And my family didn't cheer me on. They said, what an embarrassment. He embarrassed the whole family by doing that. But
so the Rebels get the score. They lead at 37-7. Extra point try, no good. And Miles to kick off from the 40-yard line. 2 players back deep for Anoka. And that is Eli Paulson and Masman. It'll be Paulson from the 9 to the 20, cuts it back. And it'll be dropped at about the 28-yard line. Good coverage by the Rebels kickoff team, and special teams for the Rebels outside of those 2 extra point problems have been pretty good today. They've been good on their coverage.
Yep, and just to tie up that little venture of mine, but I appreciate a great snap. And you gotta have things ready for postseason. The solid snaps, the down, the set, and have things ready and prepared, and now's a good time to tie those things up.
Long drive by the Rebels, 3:32 to go in the quarter. Masman running hard up the gut. Will set up second down and short. Maybe one of the best runs for the Tornadoes so far in the football game. And that Rebels drive went from 11:53 down to 3:32. That's incredible. 8:21 on the drive, leading to the touchdown.
And you're right, that was the longest gain of the yard. In fact, those halftime stats by the stats Sherpa just to my left. Couldn't happen. He does a phenomenal job, but they had just 2 yards rushing in that first half, did Anoka, and they battled to get back to the line of scrimmage here.
Masman not much, second down and 10. So the Tornadoes pick up a first down out at the 43-yard line. They run it there, and clock running 2:45 to go in the third quarter. And you brought it up earlier, the sophomore quarterback, Peyton Padani, really a good job. And what he's done all year bodes well for the future of Anoka football, that they certainly have a quarterback for the future playing right now. There's the throw over the middle. Caught, hit immediately is Carson Band. Short gain, third down now.
Yeah, now they just got to get that offensive line to protect him, because he's starting to take a beating back there right now, because the Rebels can just pin their ears back and come and get him. As he was accompanied back up by a couple of offensive linemen there. But he throws a good ball, has good poise.
Trips to the left. Lone setback is Ethan Masman. Under 2 to go, and we have a false start near side of the field. Khalil Tony didn't have the snap count right.
Infraction on the offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
So there was an interior line, and then here on the outside, you had, a Bekwe jump way offside. So a couple of errors there, setting up now third down and 13.
Yep, I think that was the third penalty this half, or this quarter, on Anoka. All have been offsides or illegal procedure.
Padani waits for the snap. Gets it thigh high. He's going to throw it out over the middle. It is caught. Caught on the run, on the move. Here's Borchers, 20, 15, into the end zone, touchdown.
They're going to say he stepped out, I think.
And we have a flag back at the 40-yard line. Well, this one could be coming back. Be 50, 60 yards on the dot, but we'll see if this penalty's on the Tornadoes or on the Rebels. Rebels sideline pointing toward Anoka. 1:21 remaining in the quarter.
Boy, that was a great job of the Anoka wide out there, Borchers, to come away with that ball, the sophomore. That was like a mosh pit when he received that ball. And he came away with it and then took it to the house, or they may have marked him out at about the 4, but nonetheless, I think it's all going to come down to this penalty.
All 5 officials still at the 39-yard line trying to figure out the foul on the play.
Or where they might be going golfing. Here, since it might be time for 9. Yeah,
well, it's certainly in play. It was 70s in our future Saturday and Sunday. Slap of reality early in the week next week with a little rain and cooler temps. But for the first night of the playoffs,
here's the replay.
Could be good.
You got it. Look at this. Good pass through into the mosh pit there, but he cut right in front of that collision and all of that contact. See if he did step out. I don't think he did. But an outstanding effort there.
They're going to pick up the flag. Touchdown, Anoka. Padani to Borchers from 60 yards. It counts. It's 37-13.
There you go. Light the lamp and get it going here with 1:20 to go in this third quarter. And I'm not sure if that pass was meant to throw in that spot, but I'll tell you, for a sophomore, he read that thing well. And anytime you have coming across the middle, you can kind of get those alligator arms, or you want to shorten them. But he did a great job of stepping in front of that pack and coming away with a clean catch and then taking it to the house.
And it looks like they're going to line up for 2. Why not? Down 37-13, late third quarter. Here in the battle for the paddle at Rebels Stadium. And Anoka trying to get organized as they set up for 2. Anoka football coach Bo Wozrick. Champlin Park head coach Nick Keenan. Padani waiting for the call. And now they're going to send the receiver to the right. They're going to throw it near corner. And it's caught. It's caught by Eli Paulson right at the turf. Scooped it up. It's 37-15.
I thought they were going to get a finger or at least something to disrupt that ball, but just beyond their reach. Was that Heinen or who's with that cast? Outstanding. That's a tremendous effort and good focus. And another 2 points. Good focus by Paulson. Paulson again surpassed 1,000 yards, reception yards on the season. He did that in the first quarter. Also picked up a touchdown reception, and now he'll add 2 points to his portfolio for today.
Tornadoes go 70 yards in 2:11 to get that touchdown. A 60-yard touchdown pass, Padani to Borchers. And the 2-point try is good. And that was Padani to Eli Paulson. And now they're going to kick it off.
Maybe. Onside? Nope.
Ami.
They'll launch it.
High end over end near the goal line into the end zone touchback. And the Rebels will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So give the Tornadoes credit. Going down the field, getting a score.
Yeah, the flag is starting to wake up a little bit as well. Right now, it's picked up enough to straighten it out, a flag a few times, knock out any wrinkles.
Yeah, and that kickoff took a little bit of advantage of that breeze carrying into the end zone.
And I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to figure out what this first play is going to be for the Rebels.
Running back in there is Richelieu Tootie. What a game. He'll get the handoff and get tripped up in the backfield for a loss. Good play by the Tornadoes defensively. And I think that was Jeremiah Murray with the stop.
Yeah, I think that might be the first tackle for a loss this afternoon for Anoka, at least on the running play. As this squad now close to eclipsing the Rebels, over 300 yards of rushing yards on the afternoon. 47 seconds left as they break the huddle.
Was one on the play, 2nd down and 11. There's Tootie again. And he isn't going to find any running room. Good job by that Tornado defense reading that play and dropping him near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Maybe a yard to the 20. 3rd down and 10.
I think they'll take this one to the end of the 3rd and switch directions for their 3rd down possession to start the 4th.
So Champlin Park leading, and they will have a 22-point lead going to quarter number 4 here on QCTV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here we go to the 4th. Champlin Park leading. They have the ball, looking at a 3rd down and 10 at their own 20-yard line with a bit of a breeze. Sun shining on their backs. Tootie trying to get to the outside. Not much doing. And now flags fly late. Let's see what this is all about.
You hope it's not a personal foul there on Anoka, since they just got a 3-and-out. Just scored a touchdown before that. Football's a funny game, and the shift of mojo.
Personal foul, face mask, number 25 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Ouch.
Yeah, Tootie was running to the sideline with his helmet off, and coming into the game for Champlin Park momentarily was Ogunlana. Ogunlana will go back to the sideline, Tootie into the football game, so a big 15-yarder on the Tornadoes takes it to the 38-yard line. First and 10, Champlin Park.
There you go. Wow. Last thing you needed. Still want to believe, hey, get those guys out there. You see your offense put up a point on a touchdown on their only drive of that third quarter.
Tootie to the edge, bumped out of bounds by the Tornadoes. They really strung that play out beautifully, and a nice defensive play by Anoka's Sawyer Chell to knock him out of bounds.
Hard hit that says, coming up here, what does it say? Cello on that hard hit.
Joe spent all day waiting.
I'm
to use
disappointed
that
those things just come to me. I should have a filter, I guess. Like the Joe Pro camera, maybe we should be having, but.
Gain of 3 on the play is second down and 8 from the 41-yard line for the Rebels in command. Rolling out the quarterback, Kaluza in trouble and thrown down for a loss back at the 31-yard line. Nice defensive play there by the Tornadoes, Zach Welch.
And that will create, either a short toss or maybe a screen, but they'll be throwing the ball unless Champlin Park is content with just maybe running, a draw play of some sort. Here being up by the margin of 37-15. Curious to see, because you're right. You want to give Kaluza some throwing situations and get a chance to see some coverages, and we get a timeout.
Another timeout, 10:38 to
Timeout,
go.
Champlin Park, second timeout of the half.
And on third down and 15 back at their 33-yard line. And now we wait for the brackets, and we're going to take a look at
a
fan of the game.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, definitely fans of the game. Nice. Look at that pose. Nice, very nice. Up-and-coming Rebel fans and players. Good pickup. So
But we're going to find out the bracket here shortly and where the Rebels are going to open the playoffs 1 week from Friday. Everybody in 6A in action. 16 games over the greater Twin Cities metro area. And we'll find out who the Rebels and the Tornadoes will open with. Champlin Park 4-4. Anoka will be 1-7. And you would assume both would be on the road.
I would say so. And, got to think they have that all figured out by tomorrow night.
There we go. Third down, 15. Rolling out. Kaluza has time. Throws it. And it is caught. It is caught by Chambers. And Chambers thrown out of bounds in Tornado territory.
Chambers has been the recipient on, I think, now 3 passes from Kaluza.
25-yard gain. That was terrific. And Chambers, the senior, honored at the half. Catches a pass from fellow senior Drew Kaluza. First down and 10. 42-yard line. And we got a handoff up the gut. Not much. Good job by that Tornado defense, stacking that one up. They had all sorts of white jerseys. Avery Fields was in the middle of that. Gain of a couple. Coming up on 10 to go in the football game. This one, for all practical purposes, decided early by the Rebels. They jumped out to a 17-0 lead. After one led 24-7, 31-7 at the half. Here we are in the fourth. Rebels. Kaluza's going to hand it off. and trying to find some running room and not getting any, and now a flag comes in late.
Face mask again, I'm guessing on that one.
As a helmet pops off. That was Tootie again, getting a pat on the back from the Tornadoes, Zach Welch. Flag flies at a 45-yard.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 16. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So they had him bottled up, and then the face mask late takes it all the way to the Tornado 28-yard line. That hurts. Second personal foul face mask here on this drive for the Tornadoes. 2 in the backfield. Glues under center. Up the middle. Look out. DeCooley to the end zone. Touchdown. 28 yards.
Well, that puts the Rebels way beyond 300 yards rushing on the afternoon, but that was a dart run. Beautiful. Good cut there initially, and then just a burst for the 6'2", 200-pound senior. A lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball and getting some carries today with Russell out, getting Tootie a bit of a break. And an impressive, well-deserved carry there.
Quarterback's going to try the end around. He isn't going to get anywhere near the end zone. Terrific play by the Anoka Tornadoes to stop that one in its tracks. Well, the quarterback, Kaluza, tried to go end around, and Anoka, good pursuit. He was dropped back at the 8-yard line, but it is still Champlin Park leading at 43-15.
Well, they have another impressive drive, but I got to tell you that drive was extended by a couple of 15-yard penalties by the Anoka defense, which allowed the Rebels to continue their movement downfield and punch it in. Especially that last touchdown scamper showed some power, ability to cut, and then tremendous speed. Capitalizing again was Mohamed DeCooley on that touchdown run.
Yeah, and it was just another one where he had a huge hole and got through that first level and was gone. And we've seen that a number of times today in this regular season finale in the battle for the paddle. Miles to kick it off, end over end with the breeze. Takes a sideways bounce, and it's picked up there by Paulson. Paulson expected it to go into the end zone, and it didn't.
Everyone in attendance was expecting that thing. It dropped at about the 2, and then watch it. It checks up just like an approach shot, like my shot will never do, but it checks up, and then he picks it up at about at the half-yard line. Boy, can I tell you, the pressure. Just assuming, I think everyone thought that thing was going to just take a natural hop, or even if it took a side hop, it'd get into the end zone. That thing stopped on a dime and came back. Rare for a kickoff.
Here come the Tornadoes. Peyton Padani, sophomore quarterback, off to the left, and it is caught by Paulson, but they say it was out of bounds. Second down.
Mentioned Paulson in that first half had 84 yards and a touchdown, and he's got himself beyond 100 yards now and added a 2-point conversion. The other component was he's over now 1,000 yards on the season. In fact, at about 1,100, which is pretty impressive considering it's just the 8th game.
High snap, batted down by Padani. Under pressure, just throws it away. There was a receiver in the neighborhood. Yeah, that's just an incomplete pass. For Anoka, the nearest receiver was banned, but he was near the football. And now it's 3rd down and 10. Clock stopped, 9:10 to go in the football game. Rebels poised to get the paddle back and go to 4-4 in the regular season. Tornadoes will finish a regular year at 1-7. Play clock down to 10.
Players rotating now, so 3 to the right. 5 receivers out there for Anoka.
They got it all spread out on 3rd down and 10. Padani straight back. Throws it out to the right. Caught by Paulson at the 25. Still on his feet. 40. Midfield. Has blocking help. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. He's got great speed. And he does get caught from behind inside the 20-yard line. Well, how about that play by the Tornadoes?
I'll tell you, it was watching it kind of develop from up top here. You could see just how open he was, but the ball was thrown, good location, which allowed him to have some options after he did receive it.
66 yards on the game. Maspin up the middle with room inside the 10, inside the 5. Scrum pushes him forward to maybe the 3 or the 2-yard line.
Well, see, now the Tornadoes are activating that running game.
So now they have a 1st and goal. Clock on the move, 8:30 to go in the game. 43-15 Rebels, but the Tornadoes knocking on the door. Maspin left side, touchdown.
Whole left side was open. He had a nice little step off, and then he had a delay step here before he got it, and then looked to his right, but that left side wide open.
So the Tornadoes, I would assume, are going for 2. It is 43-21, and now they're going to bring on the kicking team. And their kicker, Kwame, will try the extra point. Holder, Trey Borchers, had that 60-yard touchdown catch earlier in the half. High snap, brings it down. The kick is good.
All right, so now at this, you got to be thinking just an onside kick. Even though, you're rolling the dice.
Yeah, why not?
But
roll the dice. At this point, why not?
And because if the Rebels get it, boy, they've been able to mow it down the field. That last drive was how many yards? And although Anoka probably would have stopped them after a 3rd down, they got whistled for the face mask on 2 occasions. Personal fouls that extended that drive for the Rebels. But I think right now, right here, you're going onside kick.
Well, that's really been the day, and then beyond that, the season for the Anoka Tornadoes is just the untimely errors. You clean up some of those penalties and the face mask and some of the other miscues, and instead of staring at 1-7 this season, maybe it's a 3-5, or even beyond that, maybe a 4-4 season for Anoka. And they are playing some young kids, and that's part of it when you take a step up, particularly in 6A football. Week in and week out, very good teams.
Oh, quality teams. And so the experience is huge. Let's see what they're going to do here. Which side would you go to? I think they're going to go our side.
Kwame going to onside kick left side. It's got to go 10. Didn't go 10 and trickled out of bounds after about 6.5 yards. So didn't get anywhere near where it needed to go, and the Rebels are going to have an outstanding field position. And that's not an easy play to get it to go 10 and ideally pop in the air.
That ball looked a lot like me as it was rolling on its side.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the spot that the ball went out of bounds. 1st and 10.
It was just strange to see a ball so calm on its side, rolling off the field, barely getting there on the onside kick. It's just
Rebels get it 41-yard line.
I'm just caught up on that. I'm sorry. Here we go. We're back, and look at this.
Galuza hands it off, and a good gainer on 1st down, and that's the running back, Remy Ogunlana. a senior with some positive yardage here. He's found tough sledding against that Anoka defense as he gets it to the 34-yard line.
He's starting to charter some pretty good yards on his own here this afternoon, and we're under 8 to go on the 2nd down and 3.
2 wide receivers out to the left. Once again, Kaluza, the quarterback. Ogunlana again trying that right side. Stacked up. He's going to lose a yard or 2. Good job by that Tornado defense to come in there and just kind of break things up. Nice job by Anoka's Logan Jungling coming in there. A lot of help on that play. 3rd down, 5 yards to go.
When they've wanted a completion, they have been rolling out Kaluza to his left. His shoulders do a good job of staying squared, and he finds usually Chambers coming across that middle. Let's see if this is what they do.
They're going to hand it off. Ogunlana with room. 25 still on his feet. 20 staggers inside the 15 to the 13-yard line before he's finally brought down by the Tornadoes defensively. And Diego Hodgman made a touchdown saving tackle. 1st down, Champlin Park. And we have a Tornado injured on the field.
Or you can just run the ball like you've done most of the day.
Gets to the 14, gain of 22 on the play. And now at that timeout with 6:53 to go in the game. And once again, someone injured for Anoka out at the 26-yard line.
Mentioned the wind picking up just a bit, but not enough to affect anything on this outcome. But with that running attack for the Rebels.
That is Zach Anderson, and he is going off the field under his own power.
Coming into this contest, it was Anoka who was averaging, giving up 175 yards a game on the ground and 15 touchdowns. And the Rebels, well, they're around 340 yards on the ground right now and on the move.
And we got movement all over the place and jumping offside for Champlin Park.
False start. Number 9 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Blake Stahl with the 5-yarder. Back to the 19.
Well, I don't think either of these teams just yet, knock on wood, have sustained any injuries that they would prefer not to here as they start playoff action here in about a week.
Ogunlana carries it to about the 16-yard line. Clock continues to move. 6 minutes to go, and Champlin Park, I think, pretty content right now to just keep that clock moving, get out of here. And at this point, you bring up a great point with the big one in the playoffs a week from Friday. No injuries. Avoiding injuries whenever possible.
Get to look at Samuel, a running back, for the first time.
And he gets hit immediately in the backfield. Samuel Walker, the ball carrier, not much doing. Ball back at the 20-yard line. 1st down comes at the 5.
You sound like you're speaking Californian there, driving on the 5, on the 1. And we are approaching the 5, which means 5 minutes remaining here in this 4th. And as you mentioned, both of these teams will undoubtedly be visiting teams for their first game coming up next week.
3rd down now for Champlin Park. Kaluza play action. Rolling left, throws that way. It is caught at the 10, down to about the 6-yard line. Jalen Chambers, another good catch. Kaluza loves rolling left and throwing left.
Yep. He throws a good ball when he goes left. Keeps that front shoulder close, squares it up.
They give it to the 7-yard line. That'll be a couple of yards to go for a 1st down. Need to get it to the 5. Actually, first and goal there. Yeah, that's wrong. It's 4th down.
Yeah.
They need to get it to the 5. 4th down. 4th down. And now we're going to get this all sorted out.
Yeah, I think the whole coaching staff might have been confused by it, and so.
Timeout, Champlin Park. Third and final timeout of the half.
That last pass play was short, but for some reason, there was some indication that it was a first down. So
yeah, the chain gang on the far side didn't go anywhere. So it is 4th down and short from the 7-yard line with 4:10 to go. Timeout on the field. And a good job by Drew Kaluza and everyone to just get this thing sorted out.
Field goal attempt. Perhaps I see a lot of larger offensive linemen coming in, and the kicker as well. See, this is all just great practice, great reps. And I kid you not, though, it is frustrating when you're trying to hold and that snap keeps bouncing up to you. And that's a must. Just, you got to have that thing snap back and set it. Spin it. Spin the threads, and let's see what they can accomplish this. Practice is one thing, but game time, when you can execute this cleanly, it creates a lot of confidence. It can really. So you got to have all aspects of your game ready to go here.
24-yard try for Swanstrom near hash. Snap spot, kick on the way, and that is good, plenty good. So the Rebels convert a field goal there and lead it 46-22.
4:06 remaining, and hey, it's good to kind of get that feel of, hey, if we need a field goal, if we need something from within 30. Those techniques, and when it, more pressure, the more reps you need. So it's a default behavior. And then it gets colder with the playoff plays as well. Next week, as you mentioned, could be rain and maybe 50.
Yeah, if we get weather like we had today, that would be outstanding for the opening round. One of the things about the 6A playoffs that I like so much is the fact that you go into it in kind of a random draw, and you get teams who typically don't play each other during the regular season. So you get some interesting matchups. Teams may need to travel. I don't think there's any doubt that teams we cover, Andover, will get a home playoff game for sure. Trying to get a showdown in the section final with Elk River in Class 5A. But Anoka and Champlin Park likely on the road a week from Friday night in the 6A playoff opener. Kickoff's going to carry all the way toward the end zone and into the end zone for a touchback, and Anoka will get it back with 4:06 to go in the football game. Steve Thompson, Joe Rulin, our great QCTV crew, and they're getting rewarded with nice weather. Camera crew out in the elements all football season long. I remember opening week, we were right here for Champlin Park and Woodbury, and it was hot that day. Shorts were in order, but a very pleasant day to close out the season in this unusual matinee, this MEA Thursday. And now Anoka ready to go 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And the snap to Padani, pressure on, throws it over the middle. Almost picked off. 2 Rebels had a shot at it. Matthew Heinen and Logan Ottinger. And no one got it. Second down and 10.
Ottinger has 3 on the year. Heinen, I want to say, has at least 1 in a series of sacks. But, yeah, they were in the right spot. They get the...
And there was good heat on the quarterback there as well, Peyton Padani. They've been able to put pressure on him. Heinen bluffs blitz, and now they're going to hand it off. And here's some running room. That is Masman with 15, maybe 20 yards on the carry. And that's got to easily be his longest run of the day. No flags on the play.
That it is. There you go. All players marked up, and yeah, he really didn't get hit until about the 18, after 18 yards on that pickup, and then falls ahead for 20.
Padani fires sideline, jump ball caught near the 30-yard line and driven out of bounds on the play. There was a Beckway, and that's another big gainer for the Tornadoes. That's going to be a 30-yarder on the dot.
Hey, Danny put that in his shirt pocket. Wearing that dress shirt out there, drops it in that shirt pocket. Beautiful toss.
30-yard gain on the dot, so they get a run at 20, a throw at 30. All of a sudden, they're at the Rebels' 30-yard line. Padani straight back, getting pressure, gets hit as he throws. He got absolutely decked by Michael Bruggers, the defensive end. And now we got a player down, and that could be the quarterback, Peyton Padani.
Yep.
He took a shot. This second down and 10. Coach and trainers come out.
Look at the player of the game. We did a poll on YouTube, the QCTV, and the winner by 47%. There's the guy. Hands down, the winner, Tootie. He ends up with 210 yards rushing on the day and 2 touchdowns. Congratulations. Not only the Rebels, but Rick Lou Tootie, 210 yards, 2 TDs, and now with 86 yards rushing is Remy. There's backup Remy Ogunlula has picked up already 86 yards, but good to see Podani get off on his own.
Yeah, no doubt. He took a shot. Clean hit on the play by Bruggers. And now Dre Ellis is the backup quarterback. He'll take at least a snap. We'll see if they bring Padani back into the game at some point. 3:31 to go, second down and 10. High snap. Ellis grabs it. He's on the move, trying to get to the edge, and he's going to be hauled down back at the 41-yard line. Terrific defensive play by Champlin Park's Matthew Heinen. Heinen was all over it.
Yep.
Schornstein was back there as well.
He's been running some serious defensive numbers. Tackles for loss, sacks, breakups, on passes, all over the field for Heinen.
Padani back out there after taking a play off. They lose 10. They're down 20 yards for the Tornadoes. 2:51 to go. He'll air it out near sideline, in the air, bobbled and knocked away. Getting an arm on it was Borchers, but that was it. Good coverage by the Rebels.
Yeah, he didn't get his hands up in the face of the defender, did the defensive player for the Rebels, and it actually probably hit him in the back. It did.
He got spun around. Back there defensively was Bremer.
Well, this play comes down to who's going to get the paddle, as the battle for the paddle happens here on 4th down, Steve.
Padani out for a play after taking a big hit, and now we have flags. Can't be a delay of game because I see 3 on the play clock.
Yep, illegal motion.
We've seen a lot of that today out of the Tornadoes.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench for Anoka. 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
Remains 4th down.
Boy, that another 15-yarder here in the half. That's the third 15-yard penalty on the Tornadoes here in the half. That one coming on the bench, and you hate that.
Yeah, but Steve, I don't want to be critical, but I've counted several illegal motions by you up here in the broadcast booth as you reset and you set. So those, I would suggest we need to cut down on for that next game.
What it is, I'm trying to get at that popcorn. You didn't buy me
I
any.
know, I saw. That's what I was talking about. You're reaching for the popcorn.
Padani throws it up in the air, and it's knocked away. 1 Tornado, 3 Rebels around the football. Lucky it wasn't picked off. And now it'll be...
Well, that probably was the theme of the game for Anoka. They move the ball, they get moving, and then suddenly it's a penalty or a bad snap. And you saw a 10-yard sack getting ready to come up for 4th and like 20, but then they're called for unsportsmanlike conduct and move it back another 15. So in the game and have the chances. But next coming season, just trying to cut down on those costly penalties and turnovers.
First down and 10 Rebels, change of downs. 2:34 to go, they lead at 46-22. New running back in there for Champlin Park.
Gets a look
there.
Yep.
The ball carrier. Delay, Nick Buva. Gain of 6, second down and 4.
Kaluza picks up the win. Big one for him to get. He can put that in his portfolio. Steps in and plays well, and that offensive line just outstanding.
They're the Rebels again. First down and more near the 30-yard line. Clock on the move, 1:47. They'll stop it momentarily and move the chains.
Boy, that rush alone put him near 350 rushing yards on the day for the Rebels. They were at 338 when they started this last possession.
First down and 10 at the 31-yard line. Rebels can now just run it out. And they're going to try and get Walker to the edge, and he can't. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage or a yard more. So we close in on a minute to go in the game. Champlin Park will finish 4-4. Anoka will fall to 1-7. And once again, playoff openers in 6A. 32 teams, 16 games, 1 week from Friday. Champlin Park will win their second straight. Be their second 2-game winning streak. They had that 3-game losing streak in the middle, Minnetonka, Maple Grove, and St. Michael, Albertville. Officially is second down and 11. There's room inside the 20 to near the 19-yard line.
That's probably coming back to a hold.
Holding, offense number 82, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
They're going to march that back.
You bet they may just do a victory formation here, take a knee. Did you mention that? The Rebels do. They move now to back to 400. But they also get the paddle. They're back in possession of the paddle.
One more snap for the quarterback, Kaluza. Going to hand it off. Not much doing, and that is the end of the football game. Final run of the game. Walker, the ball carrier there, and they're going to exchange
Well, see if they're going to get that paddle first. Are they going to line up and get the paddle here, or are they going to shake hands first?
Looks like they're going to line up for the shake and then grab the paddle. Champlin Park wins it 46-22. On to the 6A playoffs for both. Once again, Champlin Park finishing 4-4. And Anoka drops to 1-7. Great job by our crew, led by Taylor Johnson today. Lovely day, this rare Thursday matinee. We may never see another one of these. The battle for the paddle to Champlin Park. A lot of fun, Joe, as always.
You as well, Steve. Nice win. And there they go for the paddle. See him coming out right on the field with the paddle.
There it is, Champlin Park with the paddle here in 2022. Thanks so much for joining us here on QCTV.